Most of the zero-turn mowers sitting under $4,000 right now are built to do one thing really well: survive the showroom. What happens in year 4 is somebody else's problem. And that's exactly why this category is such a minefield. Because once manufacturers start chasing a price point, the cuts usually happen in the places most buyers never think to check: the transmission, the deck, and the hardware hiding underneath the seat. The paint still shines, the brochure still says things like commercial grade. But the expensive parts tell the real story. So before you hand over $1, put every mower through 3 filters. 1. What's the transaxle? Because that single component often determines whether you're buying a mower you maintain or a mower you eventually replace. 2. Is the deck fabricated or stamped? And 3. Are you actually getting better hardware or just paying extra for a bigger badge? And here's the part that should bother you before we even start. One major brand sells 2 zero-turns with nearly the same name and nearly the same price. One gets a fabricated deck. The other gets a stamped deck. The badge won't tell you. The salesman probably won't tell you. Only the model number will, and almost nobody checks it. So let's run the filter, because this is where most of that showroom floor falls apart. Start with the deck. Here's what nobody explains at the register. A stamped deck is pressed from a sheet of steel. A fabricated deck is built from separate pieces of steel welded together. And steel thickness is measured in gauge where the rule runs backward. The lower the number, the thicker the steel. 10 gauge is thicker than 11 gauge. 11 gauge is thicker than 13 gauge. In the showroom, you'll never notice the difference. A few seasons later, that's when the construction starts to matter. Now look at the machines most buyers cross-shop first: the Cub Cadet Ultima ZT142 and the Troy-built Mustang Z42. Here's the trap. Cub Cadet will happily sell you a ZT1 with a genuine Kawasaki FR Series engine, the same engine family found in machines we'll praise later in this video. Sounds like a winner. Except both of those machines ride on 13 gauge stamped decks. The right engine bolted to the wrong deck. Filter 1 failed. And that's the pattern across much of the big box floor. A strong engine can't completely make up for a deck built around a price target. Which is exactly why so many machines look better on the brochure than they do after years of ownership. One quick note before we keep going. If you leave the big box stores and start shopping dealer inventory, there are additional fabricated deck machines worth considering. But that's not what this video is about. We're talking about what most people are actually buying from Lowe's and Home Depot for less than $4,000. And once you apply those filters, the field gets very quickly. Only 3 machines survive. Let's meet the first one. Survivor number 1 is the machine most people walk right past: the Husqvarna Z242F. And that's exactly why it made this list. A lot of buyers file Husqvarna away as a chainsaw and trimmer company and never give its zero turns a serious look. That's a mistake, because under the hood sits one of the strongest engine packages you'll find anywhere near this price point. The Z242F comes with a 21.5 horsepower, 726cc Kawasaki FR651V V-twin, one of the biggest advantages this mower has over much of the big box competition. And that's important, because remember what knocked the Cub Cadet ZT142 and Troy-built Mustang Z42 out of contention? Not the engine, the deck. The Husqvarna doesn't make that mistake. Start with filter 1. The Z242F gets Husqvarna's 42-inch clear-cut fabricated deck built from 10-gauge steel, not stamped. Not built around the lowest possible price point. A genuine fabricated deck with cast iron spindle housings and greasable mandrels. That's exactly the kind of construction we were looking for. Filter 1, pass. Filter 2, the hardware. The Kawasaki FR651V isn't some mystery engine wearing a flashy sticker. It runs cast iron cylinder liners, full pressure lubrication, and a spin-on oil filter. Those are the details that matter after hundreds of hours, not the marketing buzzwords printed on the side panel. Filter 2, pass. Filter 3, are you getting real value or just paying for a badge? Again, pass. Husqvarna didn't stop at the engine and deck. You also get a 3.5-gallon fuel tank, cast iron spindle housings, an automatic parking brake, and a chassis that feels noticeably more substantial than many entry-level machines sitting beside it on the showroom floor. Now for the catch. The Z242F rides on Hydro Gear EZT transmissions. That's a sealed residential transaxle, and it's the biggest compromise on the machine. To be fair, Husqvarna isn't alone here. A lot of sub-$4,000 zero turns rely on the same class of transmission. But it tells you exactly what this mower was designed to be. A homeowner machine, not a commercial machine. Typical residential lots? Perfectly reasonable. Steep hills, commercial mowing, or heavy towing every weekend? Wrong tool for the job. And that's the theme you'll notice throughout this video. The winners aren't perfect. They're simply the machines that make the fewest bad compromises. The Z242F gives you the things that are expensive to upgrade later: a Kawasaki 5-twin, a real fabricated 10-gauge deck, cast iron deck hardware, and solid overall construction, while making its biggest concession in the exact place where nearly every competitor at this price point is compromising too. Bottom line, a genuine Kawasaki FR651V, a fabricated 10-gauge clear-cut deck, cast iron spindle housings, useful ownership features, and a price that typically stays comfortably below our $4,000 ceiling. That's why the Husqvarna Z242F survives the first cut. Survivor number 2 is the one almost everybody defaults to: the Toro Time Cutter 42. And here's the twist. It earns its spot for reasons that have almost nothing to do with the steel under the seat. Start with what Toro genuinely does better than almost anyone else in this price range. The warranty, 3 years of residential coverage with no homeowner hour cap, sitting front and center in the marketing. If you're the kind of owner who racks up serious seat time every season, that's a real advantage. And then there's the safety net most buyers underrate until the day they need it. Toro backs these machines with one of the largest dealer and service networks in the industry. If you're the kind of owner with zero interest in pulling a spark plug or swapping a belt yourself, that support network is worth real money. When something goes wrong, there's a good chance help isn't far away. Now run it through the filters and pay close attention here, because you have to read the model number. The 42-inch Time Cutter isn't one mower. It's a family, and the decks are not the same. The one sitting comfortably inside our budget typically comes with a 22-horsepower Briggs & Stratton V-twin and a 42-inch 13-gauge stamped deck. And that's where things get interesting. Because the deck test that knocked out the Cub Cadet ZT142 and Troy-built Mustang Z42? The in-budget Toro doesn't clear it either. Want Toro's fabricated iron-forged deck? You can absolutely have it. But once you move into those configurations, you're climbing into a different price bracket, and in some cases, right out of the budget this video is built around. So inside our price ceiling, the honest truth is simple: the Toro you take home is stamped. And let me set one thing straight, because the internet keeps getting this wrong. The Time Cutter's Hydro Gear ZT2100 isn't some major downgrade hiding under the seat. It's the same general class of residential transaxle you'll find throughout this category. No magic advantage, no fatal flaw, just a typical residential drivetrain doing a typical residential job. So where does that leave survivor number 2? Simple. The Toro doesn't make this list because it has the best hardware. It doesn't. It makes this list because it offers something a lot of homeowners value just as much as hardware, excellent warranty coverage, outstanding dealer support, and one of the easiest ownership experiences in the category. If you're the kind of buyer who wants the strongest deck for the money, the Husqvarna has a better argument. If you're the kind of buyer who wants maximum support after the sale, the Toro makes a very compelling case. Just walk in with your eyes open. At this price point, the real product isn't the deck steel. It's the warranty, the dealer network, and a peace of mind that come with them. And for a lot of homeowners, that's enough to earn survivor number 2. Survivor number 3 is the one that ought to make every American homeowner sit up a little straighter, the Ariens Edge 42. And here's the headline almost every other guide leaves out entirely: this machine is actually built here. Ariens designs it, fabricates the steel, welds it, powder coats it, and bolts it together in-house at their plant in Brillion, Wisconsin. In a category absolutely flooded with badge-engineered machines built off shared platforms, that's not a small thing, and it's something you cannot say about most of what's parked right next to it. But patriotism doesn't pass our filter. Steel does. So let's run it. The deck, a 42-inch fabricated, welded deck built from 11-gauge steel. And here's the kicker that's the lowest-priced fabricated deck you'll find anywhere on the big box floor, usually landing somewhere around $3,200 to $3,400. Filter one pass, and it's the cheapest way through that gate, period, the engine. A 20-horsepower, 656cc Briggs & Stratton V-twin. A real proven V-twin, not a no-name motor with a brave number on it, so it clears filter 2. It's the most modest engine of our 3 survivors, no argument there, but it's an honest workhorse for a homeowner-sized yard. Now filter 3, and this is where you've got to be straight with yourself. The Ariens carries a 2-year warranty, capped at 150 hours. Remember that warning I gave you up top? This is the machine it was about. 2 years sounds fine on paper, but if you're really putting time on this thing, you can run through 150 engine hours before those 2 years are even up. And the day you do, that coverage is gone. It clears the filter, but it clears it by the narrowest margin of the 3. And there are 2 more honest catches the brochures won't open with. 1. The fuel tank holds just 2 gallons, the smallest in this entire comparison, which means more trips back to the gas can on a long afternoon. 2. That Briggs, capable as it is, simply isn't in the same long-haul durability conversation as the Kawasaki FR sitting under the Husqvarna. You're trading a little engine pedigree and a little runtime for a lower price and an American-built deck. Drivetrain-wise, by the way, it's the same story as the rest, a Hydro Gear EZT, the residential entry tier. No surprises there, good or bad. So who is the Edge 42 actually for? The budget-minded buyer with a smaller, flatter lot who wants a genuine fabricated deck and a machine built in the States, and who isn't going to pile up monster hours or drag heavy loads across a hillside. For that person, this is the most Mower for the money on the whole floor. And one quiet bonus, at 498 pounds, it's the lightest of the 3, which makes it the easiest one to load on a trailer the day you need to move it. So let's put it all on the table. Out of the under $3,500 range, only 3 machines made it through every filter. Each one wins for a different type of buyer. If power and long-term durability matter most, it's the Husqvarna Z242F. It's the only one here with a Kawasaki FR engine, a fabricated deck, a large fuel tank, and a 3-year warranty with no hour limit. Dollar for dollar, it's the strongest overall package. If peace of mind matters more than specs, it's the Toro Time Cutter. The dealer network is everywhere, and the warranty is the strongest in the group. Just understand what you're getting, a stamped deck at this price point. You're buying reliability support, not heavy steel. And if you want the most fabricated deck for the lowest price, it's the Ariens Edge 42. Built in Brillion, Wisconsin, with welded steel and a simple, budget-focused setup. Smaller tank, lighter warranty, but solid value for smaller, flatter yards. 3 machines. 3 real reasons to choose them. Everything else in that aisle, you're paying fabricated deck money for stamped deck steel. Now I want to hear from you which one fits your yard and how many acres are you actually cutting. And if this saved you from a costly mistake, hit like, share, subscribe, and drop a comment. That way next time you're about to spend real money on a mower, you walk in fully informed.